morning, everyone. Welcome to day 3 of the 2012 Ho'okipa Kite Surf Pro. Good to see you on this fantastic sunny morning sky. Welcome to everybody at home viewing and tuning in with us. Great to see you. Great to have you here. We look behind the sky and see another brilliant pumping surf day out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's another beautiful morning here in Maui. As you can see, coming to you live from the Valley Isle. I believe I saw Mr. Robbie Nash himself out there just a moment ago, out on his stand-up paddleboard, ripping some waves apart. We've got some of the native right down here on the beach this morning. Then came here this morning and found a big Hawaiian monk seal down there on the sand.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see. It's not something that you get a chance to see very often here, even though it is native to just the Hawaiian Islands. It's a relatively endangered species, definitely endangered by human populations mostly. So it's a blessing to have that monk seal come up on the beach here at Ho'okipa State Park.
Yeah, it's really rare to see one of these things. As you can see, it's actually been fenced off down there by the lifeguards. It's doing an excellent job to sort of keep people, give it a little bit of a barrier. There's only 1,100 monk seals remaining in the wild at the moment, so very endangered and rare. So,
Yeah.
cool to see them down here on the beach.
Yeah, down there catching some rays as today has proved to be clearer than we saw yesterday morning. If you joined us yesterday, we were from a different vantage point over the west, up on the West Mauis, and looking down over the north coast, you could see sort of a hazy mist combined from sort of the sea spray from the rather large swell exploding on the reef that we had. But today it's relatively clear. Yesterday afternoon we had a light breeze, a light kind of, I don't want to call it a trade pattern. It was probably more of a sea breeze, more of a thermal activity coming in. But it's probably got up to like 12, 13, 15 knots here at Ho'okipa.
Yeah.
Which is a good air movement here on the island. Typically means that weather patterns are trying to move around, and perhaps the next few days we can get that high pressure system to move on out of here and return with the trades.
Yeah, exactly. We get a forecast into next week. It looks like we will have trade winds returning through the middle to latter part of next week, so we'll just have to wait and see how that develops. But out here at the moment, still plenty of swell on offer. We did hear word from our contest director that it is going to be another official lay day here, which I don't think anyone's, any of the competitors are necessarily too bummed out about. They're going to be out here surfing as they were all day yesterday. We all got in the water and caught some waves. It was a pretty huge swell yesterday, so everyone got their blood pumping and shook some of those nerves. Everyone's just sort of ramping up, getting ready for this contest to start, hopefully in the next few days.
Yeah, and the swell dropping a little bit compared to yesterday, but there is a new swell on the horizon for tomorrow and then again later next week. So waves shouldn't be an issue for basically the entire holding period, kind of sticking around that 2.5 meter 12, 13 second period basically for the next week is what it looks like. A few bumps here and there, a few a bit more spaces in the period to kind of jack up the faces on the reef here. But in general, there should be a wave breaking of pretty significant size for the rest of the holding period, Sky.
Yeah, it looks like the trade winds are expected to return. The swell is maybe going to go a little bit more easterly, which is not necessarily bad for Ho'okipa. It actually works really well on a northeast swell. It kind of wraps in here and makes for a really good right off the point here. So I don't think swell is going to be too much of an issue coming into this final week, and hopefully we'll be able to get this thing underway. I'm thinking maybe even by Tuesday, but again, that'll be up to our contest directors, and just wait to see how that forecast develops.
And as you said, Sky, in the meantime, our guys are out there surfing pretty religiously every morning, all day, checking out the multitude of spots that we have here on Maui. Again, we're at one of the most easily viewed spots as the Hana. The entirety of it, giving such a great natural amphitheater to watching surfers here. It's a huge attraction for anybody visiting the island, for any surfers that are coming on vacation and need to check out a place. Then Ho'okipa is where you should hang out for a little bit and watch these guys rip out here. That's for sure.
Yeah, all types of water sports going on here at Ho'okipa and all along the north shore of Maui. Of course, this place just an absolute breeding ground for all sorts of not only watermen and water women, but water sports in general. This is pretty much the birthplace of windsurfing, kiteboarding, surfing, anything to do with the water, really. And I believe you caught up with a very well-known waterman yesterday.
Yeah, Pete Cabrina. I had a chance to Pete for a while, and caught up with him yesterday to kind of ask him not only his opinion about an event being like the KSP being here at Ho'okipa. He obviously has a lot of experience here on the island. He's definitely a legend. XL award for big wave surfing. Came from a windsurfing background and a surfing background. Got into kiteboarding at its infancy. One of the first guys to be doing it here on island, and we were able to catch up with him yesterday to hear some of his thoughts about the event and about kiteboarding in general here in Ho'okipa.
Yeah, it's great that the KSP is having an event at Ho'okipa. I mean, Ho'okipa is historically such a perfect arena for competitions. And throughout the 80s, it was like the mecca for windsurfing, and the best events in the world were happening right here. It's been a long time since we've had any kiteboarding event here, so I think there's a lot of excitement around this one. You know, I think it's a place, unlike the last venues on the tour, I think it's a place where guys can really show off their like vertical riding, whereas Mauritius was down the line, barrel fest. This is a place where you can actually go straight up and hit the lip and do cutbacks and maybe some airs and things. So it'll be really interesting to see what actually goes down here. Cabrina's a global brand, and we sell in all corners of the world, and we make products for all corners of the market. Everything from race boards and race kites to freestyle kites and freestyle boards to really dedicated surfing equipment. And like it or not, this is the birthplace of the brand. It's my birthplace, and the brand itself just mirrors the surf culture. And so everything we do, has a little bit of a technical aspect, but it has a lot of lifestyle aspect. At the end of the day, we don't make hospital equipment, we make surf equipment, and surf equipment that you can use in any part of the world. So it's really cool, and it's cool for me to make something that is just made for the sole purpose of letting people have fun. That's one of the biggest joys for me in this business. And so, yeah, I think the surfing side is going to have some legs. It's the thing that's kept me completely enamored with the sport since I was 6 years old, is the fact that no two waves are alike. And so on that alone, it means that every time you go out, your session's going to be a little different. And kiteboarding is a traveling sport as well. It's easy to travel with. If I go on a surf trip, I throw a few kites in there. And you go to these places where you get to experience like all these different waves with all these different personalities and flavors. And so, yeah, I think the surfing side is going to have some legs because of that, because it's not easy to get bored with it. I mean, if you look at a lot of the cover shots and things, and guys are pulling into crazy barrels now and doing like mean hacks and stuff that only a few years ago we weren't quite sure it was going to go that far. And so it's really exciting. We'll see where it goes from here on out.
Good morning from Ho'okipa. I am here with our Irish rider, Ryan Coote. We saw Ryan in our last event in Ireland as one of the local wildcards. Now he's been able to join us as an alternate rider for this event. Ryan, I think you're pretty happy you could make it over to Hawaii. How are you adjusting to the warm weather conditions?
I was pretty lucky because when I first arrived it was actually raining. We had a day of rain, but then so it wasn't too hot, and then the last few days have just been really nice, and there's been a little breeze every day, so it's not been too hot, and I just covered up and got out of the midday sun, got the morning surf and the evening surf.
Yeah, I guess that's a good thing. You can always just jump in the water and get cooled down anyways. You did that early this morning, went for an early morning surf, and we saw you coming out of the water with, what exactly was that?
It was 2 boards as opposed to 1. I was just unlucky. Yesterday we had really big surf here and I got pretty frustrated. It was pretty hard to surf and it was hard even getting out yesterday. So today I was just going a bit too gung-ho and wiped out and came up with 2 boards instead of 1. So, it has to be. That's the joys of the game, is the risk you take. So luckily it wasn't me coming out 2 and 1.
That's true. I'm very happy about that too. But I was also very sad to see you coming out of water with this broken board in half. You said you only brought 1 surfboard, but luckily you have some kiteboards. Are you planning on going surfing on those now? Really risking it?
Yeah, I can surf all my kiteboards as well. It's just obviously we kite smaller boards than we do surfboards, so it'll be a little bit more hard work. But I got to get out there when there's waves like this. It's heartbreaking to be in on the shore. So
that's right too. And you're standing here again with your with your board with the beautiful lips. We know those from Ireland.
Yeah, for sure.
I know you haven't actually really had the chance to kite Hokipa, and most of the riders haven't, because usually there's this 10-man rule. You don't really get to ride Hokipa.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to kite lanes, and what do you think how your boards work? What's your tactics gear-wise going into this event?
Well, it was unfortunate because my gear got lost, so I didn't get it until 2 nights ago. So I was out there. We got a day of kiting already, which was really, really nice. And we got to kite lanes and just lower Hokipa. And I was on borrowed gear, so it was a bit random being in a new place on different gear, but it was good. I enjoyed it, and it's so like my wave at home that I kite a lot, which is Mossie's, and it's a big right-hander that peels So I'm confident. My front side, so it's what I really, really like and what I enjoy riding is front side, so we'll hopefully put it up to them.
Sounds great. Well, good luck for that. It's great to hear that Hokipa is just like Mossie's, just a little warmer water-wise and temperature outside-wise, but good luck for the contest. We're really stoked to have you here, really stoked you made it all the way from Ireland. Saying hi to the crowd in Ireland.
Hi guys.
And giving it back to the guys in the Livestream van.
Great to hear from one of our tour riders, Ryan Coote. Again, you were introduced to him last event where in Ireland, his home turf, where he was in quite different conditions than we find ourselves here. I don't think he knows what to do without a wetsuit on, that's for sure. And so it's great to get a perspective. Again, a lot of our competitors coming from all corners of the earth, and being able to come and compete with the local crew here on contingency. We got a lot of Brazilians, again, if you've been following the World Tour, have been doing such a fantastic job advancing through deep into their heats. So it's great to get the perspective of these guys of sort of their first taste here at Hokipa, and as we've learned over the last couple of days, not necessarily a daily routine here to be able to kite at Hokipa, so it's everyone looking forward to it tremendously to be able to get this contest underway and share this peak that's world class in front of us with just a few other riders, all kiters. It should be a fantastic event. Can't wait to get that underway. Also before that, we heard from legendary waterman Pete Cabrina. It was pretty cool after we caught up with Pete yesterday. We were able to discuss a little bit further sort of the introduction that he had to the sport here on the island, explaining that the first time he was flying kites, he went out with Don Montague up what is now, or was then also Pavilions, which is predominantly a surf spot now that you don't want to drag through at all with a kite. But it is a pretty interesting place that he picked too, as it's kind of in the wind shadow as we look to the left over here from where we stand. Of that cliff that overlooks the whole Hokipa Beach State Park, and for whatever reason that he couldn't even explain, that's where he chose to launch. But it's kind of a wind shadow, kite falling out of the sky. When he actually did make it out, dragged through the lineup, and then went all the way down to basically Kahului Harbor in town doing body drags, trying to learn how to do it, and before safety systems and hot launching directly downwind with a two-line kite. It's pretty cool to catch up with some of the legends and of course in water sports, and then also some of the originators of the sport of kite surfing here on the island. Of course, Pete, legendary in surfing as well, an XXL award winner for a biggest wave surf of the year here just up the coast at Jaws. So really cool to kind of get the perspectives of, I want to say Maui local, but more Maui legends is more like it. So hopefully over the next few days we will be able to catch up with a few more local legends and global legends, actually, is that category that Pete finds himself in. So big thanks to him and to Cabrina in general for sponsoring and supporting this event. It's great to get to hang out with their crew. Super class act, great brand, and super happy to have them on board, and great to catch up with Pete yesterday.
Absolutely. Yeah, so if you're just joining us here, day 3 of the 2012 Hokipa Kite Surf Pro, there has been an official lay day called for today by our contest directors. So we do have clear skies today, which is a very good indication of things to come later in the week. We've got plenty of swell around, and as soon as that trade wind pattern fills back in, we will get this thing underway here at Hokipa. So I think that's going to do it for us here on the morning show this morning, day 3, and we will be back here live with you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. local Maui time. For now, enjoy your morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you are in the world, and we will see you back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. bright and early.